Okay, the therapy that I chose to use for my case study is narrative therapy. Hopefully after this PowerPoint presentation I'll give you a little bit more insight on what you need to do with your client. Alright, outline. Introduction to narrative therapy. We're going to go over key concepts, the therapeutic process, techniques and procedures, contributions and limitations, and I'm also going to compare and contrast two other therapies that I possibly could have used, but I chose not to. The introduction, the key thing that you want to take from this is that individuals construct the meaning of life through interpretive stories called truths. Key concepts, focus in narrative therapy, the role of stories, listening with an open mind. Right? The key thing you want to take from here is listening respectfully to a client's story. Also search for resourceful times in clients' lives and assist clients in mapping the influence of a problem that they have had in their lives. The role of stories. Stories construct and constitute what we see, feel, and do. Listening with an open mind. Narrative therapists, basically, you want to make efforts without imposing your own value system, and also enable clients to modify painful beliefs, values, and interpretations. Therapeutic process. Main points here: collaborate with the client, investigate the problem. Also, find historical evidence to bolster a new view. Ask client to speculate about their future, what they want to see themselves, how they want to see themselves in the future. Therapeutic goals: invite people to describe their experience in a new and fresh language. Functions and roles. The therapists want to be they want to care, be interested, respectful courtesy, openness, empathy, contact, and even fascination. The therapeutic relationship: assist clients in externalizing problems and guide them in examining self-limiting stories and creating a new, more liberating story. Techniques and procedures. Narrative therapy is now being used for a broad range of human difficulties, including eating disorders, family distress, depression, and also relationship concerns. Specific techniques basically include listening to a client's story without getting stuck. Contributions and limitations. Contribution. A strength of this approach is the question format that invites clients to view themselves in a new and more effective way. Limitation. Little empirical validation of effectiveness of therapy outcomes. Now, the two therapies that I could have chose were behavior therapy and also family system therapy. I didn't choose behavior therapy because it only focused on the client's behavior and not how they feel. Family system therapy, the limitations include problems in being able to involve the whole family in the therapy. Hello, I'm Paul McNair. I am going to be conducting my case study on an 8-year-old third grade little girl by the name of Kennedy. Her teacher brought her to me in hopes that I can assist and help Kennedy get through its troubled times. Basically, Kennedy has been very disrespectful and aggressive towards the other kids. Come to find out, it's primarily due to her mother at home. Her mother has been very abusive verbally and physically towards Kennedy. After the initial interview that I and her teacher had with her, we found out a lot. Kennedy's teacher called child services, and she has been removed from her mother's care. Now, in this role play, you will see the second session, and I will attempt to use the techniques and procedures learned in narrative therapy. How you doing, Kennedy?
I'm doing good. How are you, Mr. Paul?
I'm alright. So, I hear that you've still been having trouble at school. You want to tell me about it?
Yes. I'm hitting, kicking, and ripping up other kids' homework, and being really rude to the teacher.
And why do you think you've been doing this?
Because the teacher, she has been being mean to me. my hand to ask a question, she ignores me. But the other children, she answers.
Oh, really? Okay. And how did you feel when the teacher wouldn't answer your question?
I felt like I was in ghost, invisible to her. Like she didn't see me.
Oh, okay. So the teacher, you think the teacher didn't? She's just being mean to you.
Rude.
Like you. Okay. Okay. Well, tell me a particular story about this incident.
Well, I was in class and she was explaining the work to us.
Mhm.
And she asked about a question. So I and the other kids raised our hand because we had to ask a question about the work she was explaining.
Mhm.
So she answered all the other kids' questions, but she did not answer my question that I had to ask her.
Wow. So she answered everyone else's question, but she didn't answer yours.
No. And I was raising my hand until she asked the next question, and I said, "Excuse me, Miss Alexis, you did not answer my question."
Mhm.
And she act like she didn't hear me. She just went on to the next question.
So what happened next?
Then I had got mad and I started hitting, kicking, and ripping up other kids' homework. And then I screamed at her, and I had got really mad.
Oh, okay. And can you give me a name for this behavior that you displayed?
Yes, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. Wow. Wow, that's mean. That is angry right there. Okay. And can you tell me a time or can you remember when you wasn't so angry?
Yeah. Well, when I'm with my dad, I'm not angry. I don't act like I act in school.
Hmm. And so what do you do with your dad? The reason why you don't be angry?
I go and me, my dad, we go to the mall, birthday parties, the park, the water park,
Hmm.
and sometimes we go to movie theaters, and sometimes we download movies,
Mhm.
and we watch them sitting on the couch eating popcorn.
Oh, okay. And so when you have fun with your dad, how long does it usually last?
Mostly every weekend. Some
Nice.
weekends he can't pick me up.
Okay, so on the weekends. Okay. All right. So tell me, what do you think needs to happen for you to keep Freddy Krueger from coming out?
I need to work on keeping him in by thinking happy things that I do with my dad.
Okay. Okay. And as far as keeping Freddy Krueger in and thinking about the good things that you do with your dad, how do you what do you want to work on?
I want to work on keeping him in by thinking about certain things that I do with my dad that makes me happy.
Okay. Okay. So basically, just spending time with your dad, you think about that.
And that things that make me happy.
Okay. Okay. So, what I want you to do, Kennedy, for the next meeting, I want you to go home and write a poem. Okay. Maybe a rhyming poem, telling me about you and Freddy Krueger. So, in your poem, I want you to describe you as the happy Kennedy and describe Freddy Krueger as the bad Kennedy, okay? All right. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
And you'll have it for the next session?
Yes.
All right. So, thank you for coming. And I appreciate talking to you. You seem like a really nice little girl. Maybe you just have trouble at home, okay? Or trouble at school with the other kids and the teachers. So, this concludes our session. I want you to give it up for Kennedy, my little girl, and we'll see you later.